The Tempest Storm of Redemption by Philo Scriptwriter. Chapter 1. The Night of Betrayal. The storm did not begin in the sky. It began in silence, inside the grand palace of Milan, where golden chandeliers hung like frozen stars and marble floors reflected the weight of power. A man walked unknowingly toward the end of his reign. Prospero, Duke of Milan, scholar, leader, father. And on this night, a man about to lose everything. The halls were unusually quiet. No music, no laughter. Even the guards seemed distant, their presence more shadowed than flesh. Prospero felt it before he understood it, the shift. Something invisible, yet undeniable. Strange, he murmured to himself, his fingers brushing lightly against the cold stone wall as he walked. The palace has forgotten how to breathe. At the far end of the corridor, 2 guards appeared. Not unusual, but the way they stood still, rigid, watching at him felt wrong. "Your Grace," one of them said, though his voice lacked respect. "You are requested in the main hall." "Requested?" Prospero raised an eyebrow. "By whom?" A pause. "Then, by your brother." Prospero smiled faintly. "Antonio rarely requests, he commands." The guards did not respond. That was the first crack. The main hall stood. Wide and dimly lit shadows stretched across the floor like dark fingers reaching toward him. At the center, near the throne that once symbolized unity, stood Antonio. Calm, waiting, watching. "Brother," Prospero greeted, his voice steady, though something within him had begun to tighten. "You summoned me at this hour?" Antonio turned slowly, his expression unreadable. "Not summon," he said quietly. "Invite." There was something in the word that lingered too long. Prospero stepped closer. "You've dismissed the court?" "This feels theatrical." Antonio's lips curved, not quite a smile. "Perhaps it is." Silence settled between them, thick and heavy. Then Antonio spoke again. "Tell me, Prospero, do you believe power is given or taken?" Prospero frowned slightly. "Power is earned, sustained by wisdom." Antonio's eyes darkened. "No," he said. "Power belongs to the one who is willing to hold it, at any cost." Before Prospero could respond, the sound of footsteps echoed behind him. He turned. Guards, more than before, too many. And this time, their hands were on their weapons. Understanding struck not like lightning, but like something colder, slower, more painful. "Antonio," Prospero's voice lowered, not in fear but in disbelief. "What is this?" Antonio stepped forward. "This," he said, "is the moment you failed to see coming." The betrayal did not come with shouting. It came quietly, like truth. "You were always lost in your books," Antonio continued. "In your studies, in your ideas of a better world." Prospero's jaw tightened. "Knowledge is not weakness." "No," Antonio replied. "But neglect is." The words landed harder than any blade. "You ruled," Antonio said, his voice gaining strength, "but you did not lead. You dreamed, while I acted. And so you steal?" Prospero snapped. "You betray your own blood for a throne?" Antonio stepped closer, close enough for their eyes to meet as equals, or enemies. "I do not steal," he said softly. "I claim what you were too blind to protect." The doors opened, cold air rushed in, and with it, the end. Miranda was brought forward, her small hands trembling as she struggled against the grip of the guards. "Father," she cried. Prospero's composure shattered. "Miranda." He tried to move, but the guards held him fast. Antonio watched, unmoved. "Take them," he ordered. "Antonio, listen to me," Prospero's voice broke now. "Not with weakness, but urgency. You don't have to do this." Antonio's expression did not change. "It is already done." The sea was merciless that night. The sky wept with thunder as the small boat was pushed into the endless dark. No sails, no direction, just water and fate. Miranda clung to her father, her small body shaking. "Are we going to die?" she whispered. Prospero looked at her, really looked, And in that moment, something inside him changed, not into anger, not yet, but into resolve. He wrapped his arms around her, shielding her from the storm. "No," he said quietly. The waves crashed harder, as if testing his words. "No," he repeated, stronger this time. "We are going to survive." Lightning illuminated his face, no longer just a ruler, but a man reborn in loss. "And one day," he whispered, his eyes fixed on the darkness ahead, "we will rise again." To be continued, Chapter 2. Subscribe for more on YouTube channel. Philo Film Production.